All right, this is Daniel Chu, aka Chewbacca, and I'm back for day 5 of November Rejection Challenges. In this month of November, I am going to be doing a rejection challenge each day, and the goal is to basically expose myself to scenarios where people are likely to say no, maybe even will judge me, perhaps where I will embarrass myself in some way. The hope is that by the end of 30 days, I will have kind of made a habit of the skills involved in dealing with all those emotions, the fear that tends to prevent me, and probably other people as well, from kind of putting themselves out there in certain ways. Now, not all of these challenges are things that I actually want from other people, so they're a little bit contrived, but they still flex some of those muscles. And I've actually seen, even in the last 4 days of doing this, that there's been a lot of improvement for me in terms of how I think about engaging with strangers. I've learned some useful lessons, which I'm still trying to kind of take to heart. And so today I'm back at the mall. I think I'm going to be spending a lot of time here in the next couple of days doing these challenges. And yesterday I did the ask a random stranger to play chess with me challenge, and that actually went pretty well. It wasn't that scary in the end. I kind of got over it. I kind of feel like right now, if I just walked up to a random stranger and asked them to play chess with me, I wouldn't freak out about it at all. And part of that was because that challenge, the request in that challenge wasn't that out there. It wasn't that weird. It was plausible. I think that you can kind of immediately discern what my intent and my objective is when I ask that question, will you play a game of chess with me? Today I'm doing something a little weirder, and honestly I am really, really nervous about it. So if I seem off in this video, it's partially because I'm kind of caught up in it. I actually walked around this mall a couple times, deciding whether or not to start this video or to just go grab my backpack so I can do a little bit of work, and then maybe do this one later, and realized that I'm avoiding this because I really don't want to do it. So I think this is a 6 out of 10, and the challenge is to go up to 3 strangers and ask them if they will text me a screenshot of their phone's home screen. And that's just strange. I think that I can't come up with any real justification for why I would want this. The closest thing that comes to mind is at Stanford, we would occasionally get these email chains passed around where VC firms were asking for all of the students to send in pictures of their phone home screens so that they could figure out what apps people were using. And I'm not really planning on using that kind of excuse. It's an intentionally kind of strange request. And I'm really expecting people to look at me funny when I ask this. Probably try to figure out if I'm trying to do them harm on the spot, which I'm not, obviously. But I'm expecting there to be a lot of suspicion in this, and therefore a lot of judgment. And as a result, I'm pretty afraid of doing this, and I really, really don't want to. But I'm going to, because I need to get over that. So wish me luck. Excuse me, sir. Can I ask you for a very strange favor?
What's that?
I'm wondering if you could text me a screenshot of your phone's home screen.
Why?
It's a social experiment. I have no justification. Seems like a strange request, right?
Yeah, I prefer not to.
Okay.
Yep.
Could you tell me a little more about why?
I just like to keep my information private.
Okay. Seems like I'm invading your privacy by asking.
Yes.
Okay.
If you had a good reason, maybe I would have done it.
What would qualify as a good reason in your head, out of curiosity?
I don't know. That's a strange request.
It is a strange request. I agree.
Yes.
I agree.
Yeah.
Okay, great.
All
Thank
right.
you.
Have a good day.
You too. All right. I kind of freaked out there and immediately jumped to asking. Immediately jumped to telling him that it was a social experiment because I had literally no other anything to fall back to. So we won't count that one. Man, I really do not want to do this one. Walking around. Jesus.
That's what I want to do. It's really pretty.
Excuse me, ma'am. Can I ask you a really strange favor?
Possibly.
Fair, I can ask.
Okay.
Would you mind texting me a screenshot of your phone's home screen?
How come?
No reason.
No.
No. Can you tell me why you said no?
It has private information on there.
Okay.
And I don't know you.
Okay.
And I don't know. It's just a weird request.
You're worried I'm going to do something strange or malicious with it?
Yeah. I
Yeah.
just don't. There's no reason for you to have that.
That's fair. That's fair.
All right.
Okay. Thank you. All right. Yep. Dealt with that one a little better. Oh, still recovering. Hold on. Excuse me, sir. Can I ask you for a very strange favor?
I don't know. What?
Would you be willing to text me a screenshot of your phone's home screen?
Why?
No reason.
No.
No? Could you tell me why not?
Because I don't know. What do you want?
Well, I'm more really trying to understand what the. Are you afraid I'm going to do something malicious with the
I don't know
information,
what-
or
yeah,
if I had a good reason, would you do it?
Well, I got to be at work. I don't
Right,
kinda
okay.
mess around, so-
Okay. All right. All right. Well, thank you. Thank you.
All right.
Have a nice day. Oh, this is a lot harder if I don't tell people what's actually going on. I feel a little more judged. That's kind of the point, though. Ooh. All right, last one. Come on, let's go. Excuse me, ma'am.
Yeah,
Can I ask you for a really strange favor?
maybe.
Fair. I'm wondering if you'd be willing to send me a screenshot of your phone's home screen.
No thanks.
Can I ask you why not?
I don't know. I just don't feel comfortable sharing like
Strange
personal
requests.
stuff. With,
Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
sorry.
Is there a reason that I could have given you that you would have actually been on board with somehow? It
I
seems
can't
like
really think
you're
of
worried that I'm going to do something like malicious with it, or like.
Yeah,
I
I
promise
don't
you
know.
that like I will literally delete it in front of you.
No, it's
No?
fine. Thank you. Though.
Okay. All right. Thank you. All right. Well, that went pretty much as I expected it would. I ended up asking 4 people because I didn't count the first one because I jumped immediately out of panic to telling him that this was a social experiment. That felt kind of unfair because it means avoiding all of the judgment that I am trying to expose myself to. But yeah, all 3 other people I asked like kind of looked at me with a lot of suspicion. Most of the time they actually stopped to ask why, and they kind of got curious because they're like, what's going on? But rather than try to justify and lie to them, which I didn't feel good about, I decided to just say no reason. And I think correctly, all of them were like, no, I just don't feel right about that. Feels like kind of a weird thing for you to have. Don't need you to have that like personal information. And that's totally fair. I think that's completely what I expected. So unlike the chess request, which turned out to actually be pretty plausible, this one, I was pretty sure everyone was going to say no, and I was correct. How do I feel right now about that? I feel a little funny, I feel a little judged. Fortunately, I won't see probably any of these people ever again, which is good. I really hope not to, or that if I do somehow randomly, they don't remember this. But yeah, that feels funny. I do feel good, at least in the sense that like, this was tough. And I think if you watch that video, you notice that I spend a lot of time walking around. Part of that is because I'm just kind of like working up the courage to do this again. Part of this is because in my mind, I'm kind of trying to find someone who seems easier to talk to or something. I don't know. In the end, I didn't really choose 3 people who I thought were objectively easy to talk to, but I definitely avoided things like groups of people because I didn't want to ask one person and then have the rest of the group kind of like staring and being like, what the hell? Or like, might have been a good idea to try that just to see what happened, but definitely there was a lot of fear there, and this one took a little while, and I mostly got no's. So all in all, today was a success as much as it was really, really uncomfortable for me. Anyway, I will be back for day 6 tomorrow. Thanks for watching.